we're not going to test it or anything. Now we're trusting the system so that we can just make these things easy. So this is a short one. I've been wanting to say, and I think this is true kind of Robert Wallace. And I've been thinking a lot about, people that disagree with you, or people that disagree with me. Now, I follow politics and a lot of these issues that I'm interested in every day, but specifically politics, every day, basically, my whole life, since teenage years. That doesn't make me right compared to somebody that doesn't follow it, because obviously there's other people that follow it every day. And I'm trying to talk in a normal voice. It's so far away, I feel like I have to raise my voice, but I don't think I do. There's people that follow politics every day and come to the opposite conclusion. So it's not always being well informed or not that's going to make the difference. Now, it is people that are low information. If they got more information, they might find that their opinions change, but not necessarily. And I've been noticing, it's things like, I know people like Robert Wallace and my regular, my family, and like him in the sense that they say they don't like Trump, but then they're all worried about guns, or they, send something out about, who cares about the kids in the prisons? Veterans have kids that are sad too, and so it's like it's what bounces off and what goes through. And I think the part that bothers me, the anti-intellectualism, is not so much how much information people get, but just the basic idea that they don't realize they're supposed to be making a calculation, right? It's like, hey, here's a bunch of numbers. I'm asking you to find the average. I'm asking you to find which is greater. You're being asked to do a calculation when you're voting and in your political thought. And they just think they're doing a taste test. And it drives me nuts. You see it, in a lot of the social commentary, the non-political kind of talking head, talking about celebrities, like Phil DeFranco kind of stuff. Where there's a lot of, I'm feeling how I feel about this. Is it new Coke or old Coke? And not making a calculation, but just like traipsing through the flower garden of their taste buds. And you're being asked to do, a calculation. And I think what's going on, not that things used to be particularly better overall, they weren't better, but just we now have a society that believes it needs to be catered to. They have this idea of democracy where they're being asked for the ultimate judgments. Uh-oh. Live TV. And the consumer taste test. So they expect to be marketed to in 15 and 30-second sound bites. It's like, spend $1 million, make it sexy, entertain me, convince me. Like the advertisement's supposed to convince them, and then they're supposed to do a taste test, and then boom, everything is fine. And they don't really have to try to find out the truth. So it's not so much the amount of information they have, but the way they filter that information and the way they take their own responsibility. I know that if I make a careful calculation of who I think is, the best representative, that a conservative will come along, making a careful calculation, come to a different conclusion. That's fine. That has to do with our different, values, where we're risk averse, and that's fine. That's to be expected. And I would prefer that to just this, well, I picked this at random. I didn't like their advertisement. That logo is cooler. I don't like those colors. So, was this too sensitive? I'm going to put that down a little bit next time.